Hi, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about the Parenting from the Heart Family Job Wheel. And before we begin, I just want to share a little personal story about where this came from. So growing up in my home, I had a lot of extra responsibilities at a really young age. And it was always the very degrading jobs, like take out the trash every day and pick up all the dog mess in the yard every day. And in the summers, really I had to clean out the garage by myself, clean out all the olives around this huge olive tree, take all the rocks out, clean out the olives, put all the rocks back.
She's traumatized when she sees the olive tree. I know how many olives that creates.
I do. And so by the time I was in high school, I was very angry because I felt like I had to do the same job every day, all these years. And I just felt it was really unfair. I didn't have a choice. I didn't see my parents participating in these jobs. And I thought to myself in high school, you know, one day when I have kids, I'm going to create a job wheel. And everyone's name is going to be on this job wheel and it's going to rotate. And so maybe you do have to take out the trash, but you only do it for 1 week. And then you get like 3 weeks off. And then you do the job again. Or maybe, you know, even taking care of the dogs. Maybe you're vet or whatever for 1 week and you take care of all the yard and all the dog mess, and then you get 3 weeks off or 4 weeks off. Right. So that was my idea in high school. So, of course, I actually got a job when I was 15 and started working so I didn't have to do the house jobs anymore.
Did you talk about shining your dad's shoes?
Oh, yes, that's right. I had to shine my dad's shoes, too. And he was in the Army, so, of course, he taught me how to do it Army style, right?
Yeah.
And make sure they're shiny and the edge. Make sure you put polish on the edge, Linda. And he paid me $1. Anyway, well, I could always be a shoe shiner if I don't teach parenting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyhow, we get married and we have our children, and you know, the kids are doing some things for themselves, but they're really not doing enough for themselves, and team family and age appropriate. So I thought to myself, oh my gosh, there's that job wheel idea. You know, we could implement that job wheel idea that I thought of when I was in high school. So that's where this family job wheel system idea came from, and we've been teaching it for over 20 years. Sometimes I run into people even now who still have the job wheel, who took the class 15 years ago, and they've kept up on it. We've kept up on it all the years until the last child went to college. Even the girls took a couple job wheels with them to college to work, you know, so their roommates would have a system.
Because they weren't used to a system.
That's right, yeah.
So nothing was getting done.
Right. So today we've decided that we're going to go through this with you, both of us, and just kind of describe how to set up. Yeah. Did you have anything to add?
Yeah, well, why is this important? It's important because if you're permissive parenting style, you remember that the term is servant. So your child views you as a servant and you're always doing these things for them. This creates entitlement. And when you're a servant, then your kids feel like they're the customer, and the customer can complain all they want, right? But if you're participating, you don't complain about the sandwich you made. So, or do chores around the house.
It's more chores around the house.
Chores around the house. And then on the other end, if you were the prison guard and make the kids do not age-appropriate things, but way too many things and hard things like what you had to go through was more of a prison guard. You probably felt like a prisoner. I have no choice, and I'm stuck in the same job. You feel trapped. So this teaches teamwork. So you want your kids to do things as a team together. This is where they learn how to be a team player, not in sports, but at home, really, is where it's at. So here we go.
All right.
So in Parenting Manual, the Family Job Wheel, the job wheel is designed to give your child responsibility which will empower him or her. Right? So number 1, have a family meeting and brainstorm everything that needs to be done around the house. Write down everyone's ideas on a large sheet of paper or a whiteboard.
And we're going to be talking about family meetings this Sunday,
And
if we haven't already.
We're going to give you some examples here in a minute, too, of those.
Okay, number 2. As a team, agree on the jobs that will be put on your job wheel. Including your child's ideas will ensure success. So we want a lot of the ideas to come from your kids. We want you to ask your kids, what kind of things do you think need to be done around the house on a daily or weekly basis? Attaching a fun name for the job as well as a fun activity makes the job more exciting. For example, the hostess with the mostest is in charge of helping with meals and gets to ring the dinner bell and light a candle of her choice before dinner. Because I tell our kids, there's every job has a fun side and a not so fun side. So, and housework and things like that, chores can get very redundant and boring. So I try to bring in a side to make it fun. Like, let's attach a fun name, or like you set the table or help do the dishes. You get to ring the family dinner bell, telling everybody dinner's ready that night. And of course, lighting a candle, it's always with safety. I would be there with them while they would light a dinner candle. And so that would just make it more fun to do that job.
They love that. So anything fun and gives them a little extra cool thing to do. Number 3, write each family member's name in the appropriate area on your job wheel. This includes parents. This is the most important part. When you participate, your child will experience the family as a team. Therefore, family cooperation is possible. So if you weren't on the job wheel, this would be the prison guard thing. Here, you're doing these. I do a lot of things, but it's important that your name is on the job wheel, both mom and dad.
Both parents. And that is there's certain qualifications to this job wheel in order for it to function and work, and that is definitely one of them, because you are the role model for all behaviors, and you're the role model for how to do that job when it's your turn to do it, because the kids don't always do stuff right or the way you want it done, so you're showing them through modeling how to get it done. Okay, number 4, divide up the jobs and write them on your job wheel. After you brainstorm, you decide how many jobs you're going to have. You write them on the job wheel. Make sure you have a coach, boss, or president on your job wheel. You have to come up with a fun name. It could be coach, it could be boss, it could be president. But it's someone who's going to be in charge of making sure that everybody else gets their job done for the week.
It could be king or queen, too.
Yes, it could. So the person is in charge of making sure everyone does their job during the week. And I get it, if you have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, they're not going to remember, right, even at that they're the coach or the boss or the king or the queen or the president. You might have to whisper in their ear, "Oh, Todd,
you will whisper in their ear.
Your coach or your king this week. Can you please remind Carrie that she's veterinarian and that she needs to feed the dog?" And of course, he excitedly will run over there and
tell my sister what to do.
Yeah, tell his sister you need to feed the dog. Or tell one of us, right? Because we're on the job wheel. Number 5, have a weekly family meeting where each person assesses how well they did their job during the week. The coach or boss is in charge of the meeting and will kindly ask, "What did you do? And what will you do differently next time?" After that is completed, you rotate your job wheel and announce the new jobs for the week. So basically, I just want to intervene right here. Everybody got one of these this week so that you can cut out a big wheel and a small wheel and put the clasp in between so that everybody has a job wheel. You can put refrigerator magnets on the back as well so that it can hang from your refrigerator. And I just want to show this really giant one that I kind of made to show everybody. Let's see. So you can see, like, here's the coach, vet, it's backwards for them, housekeeper, hostess with the mostest. And then after we self-evaluate, like, oh, the coach would ask, "Ty, you were vet this week. What did you do? What did you do? How many times did you feed the dog?"
I fed the dogs probably 3 or 4 times during the week.
Okay, because I fed them the other days. And then what will you do differently next time you're vet?
I'll feed them every day.
Okay, so we just self-evaluate, we get through all of that, and then we just make one turn, and then we announce what the new jobs are for the week. So the names are here, we're that job for the week, and then we self-evaluate, and then we turn one notch. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I just want to say before we go on is that, remember we talked about what's going on in your home challenges. It's either a relationship problem or a system problem. So we've been working a lot on relationship, and we'll continue to do that. But this is a systems here. So if you have a system problem where you're overworking, you're not doing enough as a parent, then your child needs to be part of this new exciting system. The first heart below is, no one gets paid for these jobs. If your child wants money, as a team, create a different job list and attach a mutually agreed upon amount of money for each job. So really, I wouldn't think about the things that really have to get done as a team: trash, dishes,
Feeding the dog.
You don't want to pay kids for that. It'd be better to pay them for washing the car or sweeping outside,
Watering the plants.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Things like that because of the core things that really don't want to pay them for that. But if they want to earn money, this is a separate list that goes on the refrigerator, and they have a little piggy bank that they can put their money into. Next one is self-help skills are not on the job wheel, such as doing their own laundry or cleaning their own bedroom, because they need to do those on their own. They're responsible for themselves. The teamwork is in the trash, the dishes, all that stuff.
Vacuuming, dusting.
Household items to do.
Mm-hmm. Maybe stocking up the bathroom, all those kind of daily, weekly things. Yeah. So here's some job wheel ideas we have listed below. These were in our family, things that we did. So we had the coach, or we called it the coach, but it could be the boss, king, queen, president. They were in charge of making sure everyone is doing their job. And of course, the parent is going to have to remind them that that's their job, to remind other people of their job. But that's just how it goes. That's just part of the learning process. Team spirit. We had one of the jobs was a team spirit job for a while. They were actually in charge of one fun family activity we were going to do for the week. Hostess with the mostest. They were in charge of helping cook the dinner, set the table, things like that. We had a veterinarian who was in charge of the pet care. The greenskeeper, they were in charge of getting all the toys off the grass and bringing them in at night. The newspaper girl was in charge of bringing in the newspaper.
If anybody buys a newspaper.
Oh yeah, I guess that's not so popular anymore. The librarian was in charge of making sure all the books were on the bookshelf at the end of the night before bed. And the housekeeper was in charge of making sure the toilet paper was stocked and the Kleenex and things like that. So this is just a sample job wheel that's real. Carrie actually made this. She put Linda and Ty instead of mommy and daddy, which is fine. But you could see this is housekeeper.
That's when Kristen went off to college.
Yeah,
so
they're older.
Yeah.
Garbage, vet, and then here's the coach. So, and she put stickers and decorated it. Went on our refrigerator. This would have been, I would have been housekeeper this week, which means I'm in charge of making sure all the bathroom is stocked. Carrie was garbage, so she would take out the garbage every day. But at any rate, again, we self-evaluate Sundays, and then we turn the wheel, and that's the new jobs. And I do understand that the younger your children are, the more challenging this becomes, although they can do little tiny things. And in our book, Parent Shift, from page 300 to 316 are developmental responsibilities. So if you pick something for your little ones to do, we don't want it to be self-help. We want it to be more chores around the house, like the garbage or bring in the mail or vacuum or things like that, or even like a little duster is cute for the little ones. They love to have a feather duster and dust things around the house.
Or the vacuum too. They're not going to be great at it, but it's all about
it's participation,
the process, the system.
Participation, the process, the system. You're learning, you're watching your parent do it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to use this as an example. If you have like an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old, maybe, maybe the 3-year-old can't do the housekeeper job very well when they're on that part of the circle. So you could split the circle. So when the child who's 3 is on this section, they could maybe feather dust. But when the 8-year-old is on this section, maybe they can take care of the bathroom, things that need to be done in there. So that's a way to solve that problem.
I was just laughing because before we started this video, she reminded me, because I was the other end of it where I didn't do any chores in my house. And I was living with 2 other guys, and she'd come over and the dishes were piled up.
To the ceiling.
It was a total mess, disaster area, gross. And we had to hire a house cleaner to come in and clean up. I bought them out of our house, and the bathroom was black. And it was just, because all of us were used, except for one guy was used to parents doing everything for him, so we lived like slobs.
Yeah. And the one guy, he told me that he was trying to keep the house clean, but if you can't beat him, join him. So he gave up.
Anyhow, this is an invaluable process. If you don't like this system, create your own, but you really need a system that works like this.
But if you have a system, you've got to have a coach, boss, king, queen, president, and you've got to be on the job wheel, job chart with your kids. And they do not get paid for these jobs. It's self-evaluation because, quite frankly, none of us get paid to do the dishes, clean out the dishwasher, dust, vacuum, stock the bathroom. None of us get paid for that. Yeah. So our kids don't get paid for that either. Now there is a system around how do I earn extra money and allowance and all that, but that's a different conversation.
And this is in the power section. So when you do this reduces power struggles. When you're empowering them and they're doing things for themselves and helping the team, this reduces power struggles. So this is Prevention 101.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, if anyone has any questions about the job wheel, we're going to answer them when we see you on Sunday. So, if you have any comments or suggestions, or
talk about
questions, instead of just teaching it, we won't need to teach it to you. We'll just make notice of it. And then if anyone wants to share anything or ask anything about it, we'll answer you then.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
Anything
guys.
else?
No.
All right. We send you off on your parenting journey with love, and we do so from the bottom of our hearts. We'll see you. Bye.